A special type of variable we're going to cover are called constants. So what is a constant? It's a variable whose value cannot be changed once assigned. Now this kind of goes against how we typically think of variables, right? Because variables are supposed to be dynamic, they can change. But constants are still extremely useful. I can tell you we use constants all over the place in our big applications, in our big microservices that we build in my professional experience. So constants, we would use them for the version of the program. We'd use it for the name of the website. We'd use it for um, the environment that we were running on. If it was test, if it was development environment, or if it was production, meaning that's like the one that actual users are using. We use constants all over the place. Well, what are constants for? Well, let's talk about the syntax a bit first. So they're declared with the final keyword at the start of the statement. So if you want to make any variable a constant, throw a final right in front. By convention, constants are written in uppercase letters with with words separated by underscores. So we're not using camel case anymore. We can't use spaces, so we're actually going to use underscores, similar to snake case in Python. Difference is it's going to be all uppercase. So it's used to store fixed values such as configuration settings, just like I said, the version of your program, the environment of your program, the name of your program. All those different things can help kind of switch the different modes of your program. So it's really useful to use constants for these settings that you remain constant. Mathematical constants such as the pi constant, really any other value that you don't want to change while running your program. So constants are immutable, meaning their value cannot be changed after it is created. Mutable would be the opposite, meaning you can change it after you create it. It derives from the word mutate, or to change. So here are some examples of the syntax for declaring a constant. So you throw the final keyword first, then you do the data type just like you would do with a regular variable, and notice the naming, all uppercase. And then if you have multiple words, you got to separate by an underscore. So if it was an int, then max users will always be 100. For example, the pi constant here, 3.14159. Of course, it goes much longer, right? But this is an approximation. The app name, like I said, we would do that for our programs. We'd store the app name in a constant. Now, why would we do that? Because let's say I have a program that has to make decisions based on max users. Going back to way back here to our programming concepts of abstraction, if I need to make my program make a decision based on max users, I don't want my program to have the number 100 all over the place, because then I'm repeating that number over and over again. And if I need to make a change to this max users, then I have to go find every single instance of the number 100 and replace it. Now, if I use max users instead and assign it 100, then when I use the max users all over my code, and I do need to update the value of max users, I don't have to actually find every single case of max users. I can just go to this declaration and change the value just one time. So my max users might be used, 100 times in my code. If I need to change the value, I just go here to my declaration and change it, and then automatically the rest of my code will update max users in every one of the other places. Because variables are referencing values. Whether it's a constant or whether it's a variable, remember, variables are essential because they allow us to not hard code values and they make our code dynamic. So essentially, a variable is going to help us reference a value and use that value over and over again without actually having to type the value over and over again. And in the case of variables, that value, we can change it through our code. In the case of constants, we don't really change it. We just can declare it to have a different value. This will make more sense once we start writing some more robust Java programs. For now, we're just going to focus on syntax and not so much on how we use them and why we use them. Next up is typecasting.